Hello, darling. Today I'm talking about one of the most vital steps to succeeding in any endeavor, and that is personal responsibility. So, how many times have you heard someone say to you, "You made me do this"? Or how many times have you said to someone, "Look what you made me do"? If you really think about it, really think about it, can someone really make you do anything? Can someone really make you do anything? So yeah, sure. People can say and do things that will trigger some emotion in you and trigger you to want to do something, trigger you to want to say something. But who's actually taking the action? Who's actually doing whatever it is that you might have done in that moment or someone else might have done in that moment? So if you think about it, the next person cannot jump into your mind, cause your thoughts to start thinking and wiring and firing the whatever happens in your mental here upstairs to cause your arms to move and your legs to move and your mouth to move. You are the only one who can do that. So someone might trigger something in you that might make you feel like wanting to do something, and then you, not controlling yourself, go ahead and you do that thing. Okay? So this is why it's so important to take personal responsibility in anything that you do in your life. Yes, people can trigger you to do something. I can have an argument or a disagreement with my husband and I get upset and I can want to maybe, well, this is a bit extreme, but maybe throw a glass against the wall. And I'd be like, "You made me do that because you made me so upset." I might have been triggered by what he might have said in that moment that caused me to feel very angry, feel very upset. But he didn't jump into my mind, take my hand, throw it, and cause me to throw the glass against the wall. That is something I did. Okay, so once we start to take personal responsibility for everything that happens in our lives, everything. Yes, sure, there are sometimes situations that are sort of out of your control and you are part of that situation, but also everything happens for a reason, right? So, and we are also manifestors. We manifest things into our lives, whether we're doing it consciously or unconsciously. When I say consciously or unconsciously, whether we are actively manifesting, saying this is what I want to manifest, or we are manifesting from deeper beliefs that we have that we are not aware that's actually operating or has us operating from that belief system, right? So this is also why it's important for us to do the work to uncover what operating system are you operating from, because this operating system is what causes you to get triggered, number one. Because if you're getting triggered by something, you want to get curious. Why am I getting triggered by this? What is it about what this person is doing that is triggering me so to this extent that causes me to feel this way, to actually want to take this action? And if you think about it, we're so easily triggered by things that make us upset, right? And it causes us want to do things that are generally to the detriment of ourselves. But if you could channel that same type of energy, that same type of feeling into causing yourself to do things that are actually in service of what it is you would love to create in your own life, just imagine how many results, how many successes you would have to date. Okay, so this is why taking ownership of what's going on with ourselves, taking ownership of what it is we do and don't do is so important, because one way or the other, whether you want to do it consciously or whether you're going to do it unconsciously, you are going to create results in your life. And when I speak about conscious and unconscious, I'm speaking more about, are you deliberately saying that this is where I'm directing my energy to, this is what I am redirecting from this way of being to another way of being so that I can create this type of life? Or am I just going to continue being triggered and having the reactions that I'm used to having and having my life go down that same path, go down that same way of being? Okay, so until we decide that we are now going to start making the changes that are required in our lives, and also knowing in what direction you want to make the change, you're going to just continue creating more of what it is you want to or more of what it is you have been creating. Okay, so this is why it's so important to take full responsibility, to take ownership of everything that happens in our lives. Because once you start taking ownership of everything that's happening in your life, regardless of who did what, whenever, wherever, okay, that probably has also got to do with personal work that you got to do in terms of forgiveness, because forgiveness is one of the things that we always have work to do. You might have forgiven somebody for something they did many years ago, and then someone does something today and you're triggered by it, and then you got more forgiveness work to do. So there isn't a single day that's going to go past where we are not going to have forgiveness work to do for our own benefit. We don't forgive the other people to say what you did is correct. We don't forgive a situation or something that happens to say what happened is, it's fine, it's okay. That's not what we are saying. You are forgiving to release the energy that you are directing in that direction, so that you can now channel it towards what it is you would love to be creating, towards your purpose. And that's another thing. It's so important. For me, that's how I got onto this journey. I wanted to know what the heck is my purpose in this world? Why am I here? Am I really going to just go to work, to get an income, come home, pay my bills, and then continue doing all the things that have to get done? That just didn't seem right to me. I had this yearning, this burning, this calling within inside me for more. But I had no cooking clue what that more was, because you go to school and you're not taught about your purpose and living into that, and you're taught about English, math, science, whatever subjects you do at school. Then you're told, go to university, get a degree, get a decent job, and life will just start to fall into place. You'll get married, you'll have a family, and life will just be all wonderful. And then you get to it and you realize, yeah, no, that is not actually how it works. And that's because we're all individuals, we're all unique. It might have worked at some point in our evolution, but we are now evolving from that. We are evolving, we're stepping into our uniqueness. We are stepping into living more fully into what our purpose is. So many people are upset, miserable in life because we're not living into the purpose of life. If you're not living and fulfilling that call that you have within you, you are going to be miserable. Trust me, I know. I spent quite an amount of years in my life being miserable. And that only started to change when I started to do the work that was required of me in terms of my forgiveness, identifying my purpose, dealing with my limiting beliefs, installing new paradigms, identifying the paradigms, replacing them. It's a process. And I would have not gotten to where I am now if I tried to figure it out on my own. Because we don't know how to. We're not taught how to. And there is laws that govern every single thing that we do in this earthly plane. Everything we do, it's like gravity. There's this law of gravity. Now I'm going to stand on this roof here and I'm going to jump off the roof because I say I want to fly. I don't care about the law of gravity. I want to fly, so I'm going to jump off the roof and I must just fly. In order to fly, you need to work with the law in a very specific way, with the mechanics of it as well, so that you can take flight. Flight is possible, but you're not going to just go and jump off and fly. You have to work with the law in a very specific way. It is the same with every single thing in our lives. It is the same with every single thing we create in our lives. There are laws at play, and if we want to create our results of the lives that we live in a very specific way, we have to work with the law the way the laws work, get in harmony with it in the way that's required for us to generate the results that we want to see in our lives. You can deny it all you want, it's the way it works. Okay? You can continue living your life, choosing to be ignorant to the fact that there are laws that govern every single thing that we see. There's a very specific way the universe works. There's a very specific way that we interact with this universe. And it does take study. It really does take study. It's not something that you're going to just listen to or read once and really understand what the power of it, the magnitude of it, because it's the power and magnitude of working with the law and working with ourselves in such a way that we are able to work with the law is transformative. It will transform your life in a whole new way. Okay, I didn't just change careers out of the blue because I decided, oh no, I don't want to be a financial manager anymore. Now I want to be a life coach and do this type of work. Most people don't even understand what a life coach is. And that is why I do these videos as well, to help you understand just how important it is to understand the science. It's an art and it's a science. And these two, the art and the science part of it, work together. You can go and you can research quantum physics. Quantum physics is part of the work involved in how we interact with the universe to create very specific results that we would like to see in our lives. Very specific results. And also the importance of working in harmony with our purpose. I'm not just born for any reason. You're not just born for the sake of being born. We all have very specific purposes. No one is an accident. No one is a mistake. No one is just here taking up air. Every single person has a very specific role to play in the evolution of the human race on this earthly plane, of our souls, because we evolve, our spiritual beings evolve through this human experience. But if we're going to continue walking around with our eyes closed and hoping that we don't bump into anything, and when we do bump into anything, get upset, but why am I bumping into this thing? If you're not opening your eyes and being awake to what's happening, you will continue to bump into things. And even when you do the work, you will bump into things as you now start to. It's one thing hearing something, it's another thing really knowing it, and it takes time to really know it. But if you never start the work, if you never start the process, if you never start the study of it and the application of it in your life, when will you really ever know it? Okay, so it's very important, very, very important to take personal responsibility for everything. If you're going to continue blaming other people, blaming situations, blaming the government, whatever's going on in our world for what we are not happy with, if the change doesn't start with us, where is it going to start? Are we going to just continue sitting around blaming and hoping that the blame is going to change something? Or are we going to actually get up and start doing something about it? Are we going to actually start making the change in our own environments, within ourselves, which will eventually start to have a ripple effect with those around us, and it will then start to spread out and spread out and spread out. But sitting and complaining about things doesn't change things. It's the actions of it. And until we decide, okay, what am I going to do about this? What can I do now from where I am? You don't have to go and change the whole world. Every small little step you do counts towards the bigger picture. Every little step you take. People who decide to climb Mount Everest don't just stand at the bottom of the mountain and jump over and all of a sudden they're on top of the peak of Mount Everest. It's every single little step that's taken towards getting towards the top that counts. And if you don't take every little step now, where you are, how you can take it in whatever way or form that is unique to you, because every single person has their own unique path. Every single person has their own unique purpose. Every single person has their own unique way of expressing it as well. If you don't take the steps today, when are you ever going to get there? Because it's the steps. Every little step that you take today counts towards getting towards the top of that mountain. Okay, so that's what I want to come and talk about today, the power of personal responsibility. And again, as always, if you are interested in having a strategy call with me to find out just exactly how could I possibly support you with moving from one set of being to another set of way of being, to create the life of your dreams, to create a life that's in harmony with your purpose, with what you are here to express and be on this earthly plane, because there's a very specific way we go into unlocking it and then living into it. So if that's something that interests you and you would like to find more out about that, book a strategy call with me today. Absolutely free, obligation free, and ton of value, because either way you're going to walk out of there knowing something you didn't know before. Indeed. Okay, darlings, that is it from me. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye.